We are live, but I'm just going to set up my Facebook because my tech knowledge, in spite of reaching 100 moms, somebody will have to help me to
Uh-huh.
set this up seamlessly. But one day I will take a course on it. Right now, I don't have time to take courses. I just have the time to go live. So just we're there. Set up. Because my tech. Yep. See that echo thing that comes. I have to switch it off, and then we can start. And 96. I just can't believe I'm just 4 interviews away. In fact, 3 interviews away from 100 mom, reaching the 100 mom, just 3 interviews away. And I was telling LJ right now, I cannot sit anymore in my interviews. I'm so excited that I can't. And I want to thank everyone who supported this. And I've not done it time. So before I start this interview, my pillars who helped me when I just started it, believing in it, Debbie, Francis, Melanie, Kavita, Kirtana, we're doing it. We're reaching. So high five to all of you for supporting it. My editing team, who's sitting with stories, living the stories just the way I am. Sumitra, Elizabeth, um, just accepting to read these stories, rewrite them. New stories come in. There's exchange. There's something, and doing it wholly with pure heart and effort again. And thank you to all the mothers. Yamil is there, Renu is there. There are many mothers, Sarah, who've constantly been in the comments helping me. Dr. Rosetta Williams, always in all interviews commenting. Sarah's mom. So I'm just thanking everybody right now because I'm excited. This is the last four. This is the last three we're reaching. So there's big chunk of blessing. I was talking to LJ and support in terms of purely love and energy behind this project. So we are making it. Welcome to the 96 spot, LJ, and I'm excited to take this interview ahead. I always say this, I will say it again. Moms who live their story tell their story the best. So please go ahead, introduce yourself, and welcome to the book.
Thank you, Shika, for having me. I am busting. I'm super excited. I'm privileged to be here. I am LJ Raspler, a native New Yorker, born and raised. I am living currently in Virginia, and I'm on a mission to change thousands of lives, veterans' lives, my true heroes. And I'm just ready for you, Shika. Whatever you want to ask, whatever you want to know, I'm ready to shed my light.
This LJ's journey till here, and when we'll take your journey as a mom, and then we will go further about a little bit of discussion about self-portrait, and then we will welcome you to the book with your dream. So that's the series we're going to take. So right now, just LJ and LJ's journey till here, what she's been doing, how it's been, whatever you want to say. The stage is all yours. The spotlight is on you.
Oh, the spotlight's on me. This takes practice and practice and practice to get comfortable being uncomfortable in front of a camera. I'm usually been this. We talked about this yesterday. A little bit of self. As I said, I am a native New Yorker living in Virginia. I have been married gratefully to Jesse for 30 years. I am a mom of 3 adult children, 2 boys, Caleb and Noah, and my daughter, my precious little girl, 23 Bailey. I was a stay-at-home mom, Shika, for 15 years. I was running a committee at that time. I was a Girl Scout leader for my daughter, but I also was running a committee for men who were homeless. They were living in the woods here in New York. And I felt called to serve them and to do something. And I said I wanted to start a committee for homeless men, and it was meant with resistance. And we got together with area houses of worship. And shortly thereafter, in 2004, I ran this committee for 7 years, for 4 years. And we provided meals, we provided coats and toiletries, and we would sit down and dine with these men. It was a life-changing experience, and it set me on that path of wanting to be more and more and more and serve the greater good. While running the committee, I decided to go back to school to become a teacher. And yeah, I became a teacher in 2011 at the age of 49. And I taught for almost 10 years, and I happily left teaching in October of 2019. And I was called once again to be of service, and that is to serve veterans in need. But I need to backtrack really quickly on this because I have so many people to thank, Shika, but my very personal journey with a rare autoimmune disorder, it's called Guillain-Barré syndrome. And that is, I'm telling my story after almost 13 years of silence in this collaborative book project that the book is about to be released any day. So I'm very, very excited to be a co-author. But my journey with Guillain-Barré syndrome took me to the darkest days of my life. And it changed my life. And I lived in fear and chronic pain. And in 2019, I met my mission partner and we began to talk. I was watching her go live. She has a very personal journey. I want to send a shout out to Irene Vaxberg. And she introduced me to a line of products, optimized well-being, holistic healthcare products. And I promote it and I bring it to veterans to change lives, to optimize well-being, to live a better quality of life because it's changed my life. All my neurological deficits, all my foggy brain, all my inconveniences, as I lovingly call them and refer to them, have all but ceased. So I share this passionately, and my mission, purpose, and passion is to provide these products to those suffering from anxiousness and stress. And I want to change thousands and thousands of lives. And that's where it took me to the veterans. And once we moved, I aligned with my partner where I'm going to start the Cooking for Virginia Veterans program. And my goal is for it to be, by the end of this year, a nonprofit. So it fills my heart to give back, you know, and count my blessings every day for the gifts that I've been giving with grace and gratitude each and every day.
Beautiful and beautiful. And I'm also getting to know a little bit about you. In fact, my husband had an autoimmune about 7, 8 years back, but it did aggravate 5 years back, and then at that time I was already on a journey of discovering that there is an alternate way of healing. I don't know why. I always think that the universe is preparing me. I'm a very big curious cat. I just keep like if I know something, I always jump on to trying to know that. And then I actually knew a little bit, so I told him. I looked at his medicines and I was like, wow, all these are steroids. And I was a very bad student academically in school. I never read books, and but for this, I deep dived and I read hundreds of books, not hundreds, but many, many, many books. It looked like hundreds of books, but almost for 3 years I was reading. I keep books I was reading, watching documentaries. I had a mentor, and we reversed his autoimmune only with food and lifestyle, without giving him any steroids. And I jumped into the same lifestyle of whole food, plant based, and had a little, you know, it's a non-profit. It was just an initiative that I had called Health Diaries, where I brought in more and more people and made them aware, voluntary, to get trainers in my house, and I used to get the neighbors. I had a big neighborhood, and many other people got saved with this whole plant-based, so I just know what it is. When For me, it was my family member, my husband getting through it, but he jumped onto it, and then reversal took 3, 4 years. But it's a journey. It's a journey when you get there in an autoimmune where they tell you that there is no cure, and autoimmune just gets worse, and all these things are told to you. So it does get quite crazy. And then he was pretty young. He was 32, 33, and we had kids, and we had a whole life ahead. But we did it, and he's a superstar of mine who trusted it and did it like a superstar and shook hands with people, and then inspired many people in his office as well to join. to join to do that. So I know that journey of autoimmune can be very, and a rare autoimmune is even more because you don't have any answers. So I'm with you as a family member. I know what all. It can be quite a unknown journey, but there's a way out, and you are out of it, and I'm out of it. I mean, my family's out of it, and that's a good message to the world.
What you say resonates so much with me because, and it's in part of my co-authored book, but I will share this, that because this autoimmune that I had was so rare, I didn't talk about it. I did not go to a doctor. I was too afraid to know the truth because I had known back in the 1970s a vibrant woman who died from it. And with my rare autoimmune disorder, people end up in wheelchairs. They're paralyzed. They can't breathe. And I went on a holistic healing journey for 12 years. I did kinesiology and chiropractic care. I ate. There were a lot of things. I developed digestive issues, but I started acupuncture and I drink, I take Chinese herbs and I do energy work. And I've been doing this for the last few years. And there's a point where you come down that path and you say, do I want typical typical traditional medicine, or do I want the alternative? And I don't advocate everybody to do what I did, but for me, it was the path I chose and all that I've known. And yeah, when I went down, I was a mom. I was going to graduate school. I had the most pressure ever, and I don't know if I came through it. But where there is a will, there's a way. But even bigger than that, I knew my path was meant to be great. I knew that as a woman who considers myself ordinary, but tries to do extraordinary things, I knew I just had to sit and wait for that opportunity. And the last 2 years have been quite remarkable for me. And I'm grateful for everyone that's come into my life. A shout out to Debbie Prediger for suggesting me for your project. And I'm humbled by it and honored. But this is what it is. We put out the goodness, we receive the goodness.
We do. And Debbie has been supporting this project since beginning, with believing in it when she was 11th mom, and she's here in the chat with us. There's Lucy who's been supporting it since beginning, going outrightly everywhere, talking about it, bringing it on, supporting me, cheerleading. They're cheerleaders. There's Francis, there's Melanie, there's all these people have been just standing with me from day one, and just saying that go girl. Patty here, joining us in the comments. So it's beautiful, and I understand the blessing part so much because when you start doing this, when you start following the clues, when you start knowing that these clues are meant for you to move forward, and you start opening it, you know, one by one, without, sometimes those clues are packed up in a very dirty wrapper, and you're like, should I not, should I not? And then you pick it up and you open it up, and there's golden words written right there for you to go next step. So that's what happens, and that's what I feel, that I just saw this peak, and then I did not see the rope first, but I just started climbing, and then the rope dropped in, and then I saw the rope, and then the lift dropped in, and I took the lift, and then I think the angels just picked it up to the next level, and we're reaching 100. So it all happened like that for me. There's been quite a journey, spiritual breakthroughs for me. A whole tool of self-portrait has emerged out of it, and I'm very glad to bring it to the world. And I am a family member with an autoimmune, and I know the fears. And at that time also, when I used to know, I was like, okay. And people, when you take these paths, when you don't agree with the medical industry, when you don't listen to them, and when you say no, I think we can do it on our own without these medicines, and we take that step. And my husband and me did that with the autoimmune, and we conquered it. And today, happily, we are in a very good blessed space. When I started it, it was scary. 5 years, it was amazing. I started this, it was scary. 7 months, it's amazing. So I don't know how frequently all the amazing stuff will keep happening. So let's move forward from there with your passion for veterans. and your entire work now being dedicated to that, how did that emerge? And yes, you've combat autoimmune and you came out, now a book is coming out, and now you're supporting the veterans. So let's talk.
Yeah, I love to talk about this, and I have to tell you, when we were talking last night, I took a lot of notes, and I'm a note taker because I like to reread and see. But I'll preface it by saying you hit a couple of things with me last night, and I'm going to use that to lead into why the veterans. Um, Human possibility. It's about, through my own self-development journey, Shika, because I embraced it after I left teaching. I had never taken that time for myself. So that's the quiet and stillness in my mind and opening me up to my very human existence, my divine truth. I want to shine my light. I want to be that catalyst for inspiration, because the name of the book that I'm in is Unstoppable. It's unstoppable. Be fierce, fearless, and uneffable in business and life. And it's a woman's compilation of stories. And I look at myself and I say, I am no different than anybody else, but I'm in company with some women that are also doing some powerful things. So when I left teaching, I knew I would not sit idle. I'm not that type of person. I need to be doing. It's what fills my heart. And my father's been gone, and I have his picture staring right at me each and every day. My father's gone almost 19 years, and he was a Navy veteran. Never talked about his service, but I knew he served. So when I left, it came to me like this divine intervention and said, you need to serve veterans. And people have said, why? And I say, why not? I don't know anyone that without justification takes that oath, signs on the dotted line, and says, I'm going to risk my life to serve my country. How can you not admire that? Right, wrong, or indifferent? It's someone that will die for a cause. And, I admire that. I respect that. And I've talked to a lot of veterans since my journey began 2 years ago. And I'm always taken aback by their honesty and their forthright, because they don't talk about it. But somehow my questioning and my kind of investigative subtleties bring them out to the forefront. And, training and military training and boot camp is a very personal journey for all these men and women that I've talked with. So I embarked on this journey, and I had never done social media. So I did a Tony Robbins comeback challenge, and I started going into a group, and I came live, and I talked on social media about my very personal journey with Guillain-Barré syndrome. But it was getting uncomfortable, being uncomfortable in this space as I am right now with you, which is not my favorite place. However, I started aligning myself with more and more, and that was the veterans. And in the 2 years, I've made some really powerful connections. People, I have to send a shout out to my buddy and friend and mentor, veteran Trey Ryder. I am the moderator for his group, Forging Life. And that's my mantra, Forge Life. And, it's that step, those very steps that we take to up level and transform ourselves. So now, once I made my move, I had made a call. I went out on a limb and I called my new partner in my venture to start the cooking program in Virginia, Jerry Kruger of VFW Post 609 here in Old Town Alexandria. He's on board, and we're going to have a volunteer base and bring thousands of meals to housebound veterans and their families. And it's an umbrella. The Cooking for Virginia Veterans program is an umbrella for many, many different things. Fundraiser. I'm a fundraiser. I fundraise for veterans using my holistic care products. But I also hold, live event. I hold events online, these Eventbrite events. I'm coming up to one in February, Shika, my next one. And that's going to be the impetus for me holding my first event to honor Vietnam veterans on Vietnam's Veterans Day, March 29th here in Alexandria, and we're going to honor Vietnam veterans. I give back, you know, for all that I've been gifted, my health, my happiness, my inner peace. I give it back. And I want to share something, and it doesn't take a lot of time to give, to pay it forward with grace and gratitude, right? So I just spent the last 24 days on a road trip with my husband. We drove across country, we explored, we hiked, we had so many adventures. But as part of my journey, Jesse and I visit Veterans Memorial Gardens and you know, it's my way of saying thank you for your service. And the last memorial that we went to, the smallest perhaps, but the most impressive, was called the Dogwood Vietnam Memorial in Virginia, Charlottesville, Virginia. And in that memorial was 28 Vietnam veterans memorialized for their service and died for their country. They were from 28 years of age to 41. And where I live, I'm near Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia. 8 of these men, young men, are buried. And in honor of the Vietnam veterans who have served this country, I intend on going to each one of their graves and pay tribute to them and say thank you. Because, you know, again, it's a very emotional feeling to know that these people died for their country and gave back. And I need to give more and more and shed my own light and do right by these people who are struggling on a day-to-day, because on average 22 veterans die by suicide on a daily basis, and the number is probably actually higher. Yeah.
You know, you
So
why I did this because that's what energy connections are, LJ. I just thought of this mom. I had connected to Susie Freeman, and just before even the project started, and I really tried to get her in. And her mission is to, because her boy is in the army, and her mission is to save these suicides, because she realized that very young boys were committing suicides in the army. And her mission was, and really tried to catch hold of her, but you know, who's ever meant to be in the book, to be in the
yeah,
book. I couldn't catch her, but I will. Something will happen. But she was mentioning to me that she found out a lot of suicide. And you said, I thought of it, and you said it, so I did. It's like I was about to mention that, and I come to know about that from her, that young boys were committing suicides in the army, and she was out there to speak for on their behalf and to save them, because her own boy was in the army at the age of 21. So when you said that, yes, it's definitely so. You know, all of us are working, and you were talking about veterans. I was thinking about moms. For me, even moms have served endlessly forever and ever and ever. Somebody needs to speak up on their behalf. And when you were talking simultaneously there, and there are homeless mothers here, and so all of us pick up our little cause and we move forward. And what you're doing with veterans, I'm doing with moms, and the population of moms is even more than population of kind of people who are struggling, and there are many moms who are struggling tremendously. And there are homeless moms, and I was always asked, why are you not taking stories from villages? But I said, well, this is again an umbrella, it's a beginning, and we will reach there. They can't take self-portraits, they can't come for interviews, they don't know the language. We will reach to these 100 moms, but these 100 moms will amplify the message out and bring more mothers and a light to their life. So yes, you said about suicide, and it took me there. And I think any country's army veterans or people serving in the army, it's the choice that a human takes, which is a very amazing choice. And some of them dream of that choice. And when you hear,
old Shika, it's, you know, when you step outside yourself to give back for whatever reason and for whatever cause, it it sets the tone for your very existence. And I'm all about that, you know, that empowerment, that joy, that light. But when you make that choice that you don't know whether you're going to live or die in your service, you know, these moms that leave their families to be of service, anyone, it's it resonates. It calls to me to say, hey, if I've had a bad day, what am I complaining about?
Right.
What am right? What is my struggle today? Is it worth the time and energy to put into that struggle? Because we all can complain, right? It's what when you look at the people that struggle, I say, puts me down and says, you know what? Everything is well in my world. What am I complaining about? I have all my limbs. I have all my senses, gratefully. It's there's so many people that struggle. And I say that 22-0 for me is my mission and my passion. And I do it with these products. And I'm going to share with you because as part of my journey in these holistic healthcare products, I wear this. And this is called the Cognitive Boost Sleeve. And this, I was diagnosed with anxiety and PTSD. This is for memory and focus and feelings of anxiousness and stress. And this is what I want to get on each and every veteran to optimize their well-being. It triggers a response in the brain and optimizes your neurology. So we when we're functioning better, we do more in life. My mission is really a very big, it's huge because I want to run retreats, holistic healthcare retreats to bring veterans and their families to a place for a weekend free of charge that we can talk and engage in healthcare practices, yoga, equine therapy, and meditation, and all these beautiful things. But I'm just so grateful for my journey. And I think that connecting with all the moms that I have, I'm a small fish in a very big sea.
All of us.
And together we create so much momentum.
When you just said retreat, Sarah Kitchen just entered, and she does retreats, and maybe we can
Oh, yeah.
collect. And she does retreats, and she exactly does what you're talking about, meditation, and she does things. Maybe you meet Sarah and something comes out, and we can do the fundraising and bring retreats to Sarah's place and help these veterans feel at ease, because she's all about meditation, and she's in pottery, and then I've seen her grow, and I feel her mission. She's just started on it, but I feel her mission, and we never know. We never know. We have the retreats wherever we bring them. We don't know, but putting it out in the universe is what is the starting point, and you're doing it right there. And we have 100 moms supporting you to do that. We had an F. I always tell her, Air Force officer who, when she became pregnant, she was still serving. When she was so Leh, Ladakh, Himalayas. I've traveled there for 14 days before I had a baby, and I told myself I will never take my children till the time they're 15 years of age to that place, because of unpredictability, lack of oxygen, landslides, snow, and for 300-400 kilometers there's no life, there's no trees, there's nothing. Like, you just keep going on and on into these very beautiful terrain, Ladakh, when you do a drive. And here is this mom from Air Force. She becomes pregnant, and then she has a baby while she's serving, and then she's told to go to this place as to serve, like for the next post. And she's the first batch of Air Force officers from our country. And 25 years back, that place was even worse than when I traveled. Now it still has a little road, and they were in mud houses. And she takes her 2-year-old child there, right? And she says, my child is not going to stay with my mom. I will take it. It was not a family posting, but she takes the child. They stay there for 2 years in minus 30 degrees in mud houses while she's patrolling, while she's taking care. She gives her child to the bachelors and goes to work sometimes when both husband and wife can't be at duty. Sometimes she wraps the child and puts her back in the jeep in the snow, and she drives. Sometimes, and for 2 years, she gave her child, which is like, this is my very favorite story, because she gave a child, there's no food. You can't, the food takes 1 month to reach, it takes 1 month to reach. So they have packet stuff that reaches there, all dehydrated. She doesn't want to give that. So she gives her child in a pressure cooker, potato, lentil, and rice for 2 years. So when you compare that, like when you compare that, and when I heard that story, she was not coming, and I said, I'm holding your story in my heart because when I make a fresh meal in the morning and I make the second meal fresh, and sometimes I'm exhausted and I've done so much, and I go for the third meal and I feel guilty that I'm giving the morning meal to my child in the evening.
Yeah, I relate.
You put that in perspective, and you just think that where are you stuck? And
Oh
that
my God.
child, we brought that child in the interview because I wanted to honor her after 25 years again. So we brought the child and the mom in the interview to honor her again. I said, I can't get the president. The president honored you when you were the first batch, but I can bring your child back. And we, what a beautiful child she's raised.
Oh,
She lost her husband in the process. She to cancer and what all she went through now. But I'm just saying that when you put, we were talking about perspective, and especially the perspective of the army officers and people who are at the border. And when a mom goes also in the border, it's another level. It's another level when the mom has to be taken away from her child, and it's a very tearing apart thing. But she still chooses. This mom chose to take her child, but many moms choose to go without them and stay in that tearing state just to serve your country. It deserves all the respect, it deserves all the support, it deserves all the hugs and all the love that we can give them anywhere in the country, any country, right? And you're talking about the Vietnam War. My 99th mom is from Vietnam, and she left her she left during the war in Vietnam. She left from there because I think she lost her husband in the war, or she lost her husband, and she left in a boat with 5 kids to come to America to have an American dream. And she came here. She was a butcher, and her children used to be embarrassed that she's a butcher. But from there, how she struggled in a country like that where she didn't know language, from becoming a manager to becoming a EA to a good company. And today, her children are all top corporate people in their careers. So, a mom taking a boat because she has 5 kids and she knows her country is not safe, and she takes a boat to come, and then she's settled somewhere else.
I have the respect for that. You know, these are stories you're sharing of inspiration. And that's why I say, you know, we have to put it into perspective because when we think about our own lives, yeah, we all do great things if we make those choices. But when you, and the thing is, Shika, if you had asked this lady, would she do it again, this mom, take her baby, you know, I bet you she would do it again because that separation, like I could not even imagine being separated from my child, my children, you know, that's the story of overcoming all obstacles. She's a mom, and that's the power of who you are. You know, it's a burden. Some people see it as a curse, but it's also a gift.
Yeah, and we have very beautiful stories. We have Leslie who left with 12 children out in the middle of the night because of an abusive marriage, and in the middle of the night, she took all 12 of them. Any human possible when they have a abusive marriage and she's had 12 children and she's had enough, and she one fine day leaves, but she leaves with all 12, and she's still with all 12. And,
Uh,
a mom could just, as a human being, could say, I've had enough, I'm leaving. But she left with, because children are not safe, she leaves. So we have stories here, and it's just made me more and more, taking it to the level that really in comparison we can move forward. And that's why I was telling you, when my child got burned, I keep telling people, I was holding these stories, and he just got burned with tea. I just tea because there are mothers here with 18 surgeries of their children before the age of 13, 18. There are mothers here whose children said they will not survive, and they worked so hard, after 1 year declared everything is normal because they worked so hard from the time they were born. So I was sitting there, and I just, with my son screaming away, I would just always say that if those moms can do it, so can I. And that's how this book has started. And this is what the mission of this book is, that these stories are going to be held, these stories are going to get amplified, these stories, it doesn't matter. Some moms feel, oh, our story is not so intense. It doesn't matter. Every mom who's come here is a shade of mom who's going to be related to another shade of mom who needs to hear it. That's for sure. That's for sure. They're all
I
kinds
love,
of here. So there could be just a simple story of a mom trying to protect her child from pollution in Delhi, New Delhi, and she takes them to a mountain. And then she realizes that there are these local saris, like these women who make saris. So she makes rag dolls, and her child is in the hostel, and she promises, I will be nearby your hostel. So now she started the whole mission. She makes rag dolls out of saris, old saris, gives job to these women, and those dolls are all famous women across the world. So she's bringing the women across the world through that rag dolls, but using Indian saris and old material and giving jobs to that, but also at the same time honoring women, Mother Teresa, and she had a long list of women she's bringing, writers, and using that rag dolls. And I told her in her interview that my 100 moms will have their own individual rag dolls. Let me just get some money and I will give these moms, these moms are the 100 moms with their rag dolls made out of saris. So we have some incredible women moving forward, including you. And this is just started. This is just started because if you see my messenger box at this moment, I'm reaching 100. I am getting bombarded in the middle of the night with messages after messages, with mothers telling me, I've lost my child, I've lost my husband, can you take my story in? But I did this and I did that, and I'm hearing stories after stories, and I have to hold all these stories. I don't know how. There's a plan. But the mothers in the book, 100 Moms, are going to be in the book. They will amplify it. And I'm hoping that they can take this message ahead with this book. And the other mothers will get the space. We will create the space for everyone to come and tell their story. If nothing else, at least come and tell the stories and do that.
Your vision for this, Shika, and that's what I was going to. And something worth mentioning here. Yes, my children are older. My older boy will be 30 in a few weeks, and my other son Noah is 27, and my daughter's 23. And I have to say, for the young moms out there, if I may be so bold, and I have to say this, that when I was home, my husband worked very long hours. I was alone 12 hours a day. Gratefully, he was home on the weekends. I wasn't able to step back. I had all that chatter going on in my brain. I was, everything to everyone. And I felt like I wanted to be an octopus and have all these different arms to be able to do everything I needed to. But the point I'm making is I couldn't step outside my role to appreciate that I brought these children into this world to give them the very best life, to provide them with love and nurture them. So for the young moms out there who are working hard and juggling all those tasks, remember the power of who you are, that you are a mom first and foremost. I lost sight of that along the way. But now that my children are older, I reflect back and I say, that perhaps might have been my defining moment, the best moments of my entire life, no matter what I do going forward, that we as moms are privileged beyond, right? We can bring life into the world. We can shape lives. We can help them grow roots, strong roots, and send them out into the world to be good people. So that's what I teach all my children, but my daughter particularly. So I'm grateful for being a mom. And, I just want to continue shining my light and showing how being a mom is really the ultimate privilege, the ultimate sacrifice, the ultimate everything.
Yeah, and Sarah is here, Debbie are here. They are in my workshop at the moment. And you must say what you were telling me that, I used to tell my daughter, and Sarah and Debbie, you must hear it because you're in my self-portrait workshop where we're talking about limiting beliefs and mindset, photos and self-portrait. You used to tell your daughter that stand in front of the mirror and say, you're beautiful, you're amazing, never forget that, and you said, I never did that to myself. I never stood in front of the mirror and I never said this to myself. And I today realized why I couldn't say that to myself when I could say that to my daughter. And I never wanted her to feel unworthy. And that's something that resonated with me with this movement. Yes, our children shine even more when we shine. When they see us climbing peaks, they learn to climb peaks very fast and don't need any push from anywhere else because they see us climbing peaks every single day And I'm glad my sons are watching it, because my older one, who's 8 years old, is equally excited. And I just keep naming, like I just keep dropping what he says, because he's a very wise man already. And he just told me, so I said, you're my dream, you're my dream come true. He's like, oh, I thought your dream was your 100 mothers and you're reaching it on your birthday. I'm like, yeah, that's my dream, yes, but you're my dream. So he didn't even accept it. He'd already in his being accepted seeing his mother embracing this dream of bringing the 100 mothers together. So for him, he did not even associate it with himself saying, oh, I should be your dream. You know why? You don't love me. He's like, your dream is 100 mothers and you're reaching it on. So he's seeing his mom's dream coming true, and he's already accepted it. And we think as moms that they will feel inadequate, they will feel that we don't love them, they will feel that we are spending time somewhere pushing our dreams. But they learn to dream, they accept your dreams, and they push you forward when you give up, to say, yeah, you must do it. Like when I stopped at 75 and my younger one got burnt, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, I don't know. And he said, you're almost there, mom. 75 months done, 25 months more, and you can't stop now. And I can't, and I didn't, and I am, and I will celebrate my 100, because he is sharing my dream. And that's the message to the world, that we don't have to wait. Our children should be a reason to rise, not a reason to fall. The day we become a mom, it should not be, that's the day it all starts, even in a bigger way. And I realized it just in 8 years. Many moms have not realized it in 25 years, 30 years. They're still wondering what to do. And that's why this book is going to push them. That I did think that I should have done it 4 years, 5 years back. But well, I realized it, and I'm up and about doing what I wanted to and sharing my dreams with my kids. So yes, we are there, and Jamila is there. I must like, I just said all names of all the people who supported it. But when she came, and Renu was my fourth mom, Jamile, I can still not pronounce her name properly, but pardon me for that. But when she came as the fifth mom, just before that, she had invited me to her workshop for wild women, and it was 3:30 a.m. in the night. And I was telling Renu that, Renu, I'm not doing this 3:30 a.m. breastfeeding my child. I am going to be sleepy, really. And she's like, no, no. And then Yamili said, you come in, your subconscious mind is open, you just listen to it. And I'm all right. And honestly, she's here. I did not listen to anything for 35 minutes, because I was just trying to wake up. At 3:30 a.m., I was just trying to wake up, because my husband said, are you sure you want to wake up at 3:30 a.m.? And he woke me up and he went off to sleep. And I was sitting in the dark with, of course, my son also woke up, and then I was breastfeeding and I was in the event. And then her voice whispered in my ear saying, the warrior has arrived. Wake up, do what you're meant to do. And that was it. And I woke up where I'm standing today. Woke up at 4 o'clock. At 6:30, I was restless. I was just like, I've started something which was once a week. Then I announced 100 days, 100 moms, 100 inspiring stories will happen. And I started it. I had to stop at 75 because I had to meet you, LJ. I had to meet many, many moms who came in the last 25 days. And yeah, my subconscious mind knew, but you knew it as well, that something happened. That's the connection. I love you for that. And the impossible thing I announced with the belief, because I had this picture of this. I'm sitting on the floor, and this warrior shoes are standing at the door and saying, "Get up, enough! Like you've been just going about it. Just get up and do it." And that was her voice, and I said it many times, and I say it again, and I don't shy away from it. I felt her support at that time to make it possible, and I announced it. So thank you. She's in the comments. I wanted to thank her as well, apart from my pillars and my editing team. So what's the dream? The dream is veterans. Yes, dream is veterans and making this thing come true. But still, I want to know it from you. 100 self-portrait, 100 dreams. These dreams are going to come true because the book has formed its own energy. What's your dream, LJ?
On my interview for my book this week, someone said to me, LJ, what does unstoppable mean to you?
Right.
What does unstoppable mean? And I had never thought about it. I said, okay, I'm just going to be a co-author in this book, and I'm going to share my story so more people can hear what Guillain-Barré syndrome is. My dream is to be that catalyst for inspiration, to step so far outside myself without criticism, without being that perfect role model. It's that perfectly imperfect person that I see to change thousands of lives, to be that catalyst of inspiration, to thank the universe, to thank God for all my blessings, but to change lives and to make one person, one veteran, one day at a time, have a good day, have a better day. And it's very simple, Shika. You know, I allow my limitless possibilities to come to the forefront. When I make the connections with people like you, I always say to myself, I met this person for a reason. I met this person for a reason. We're going to do something quite remarkable together. And that's how it is for me with the veterans. When I meet one veteran one day, each and every day, because new veterans come into my lives every day, and I talk to them and I engage with them, I can change a life. I had a great meeting with J.R. Smith of the Veterans Ranch. He does equine therapy. We're going to get him to try these products. We're going to change veterans' lives to help live a better quality of life, because I have been so afforded that good life. And yeah, I just want to just bring goodness to people, to make people have a better day, to bring a smile to someone. It's really not a tall order, you know, but I always do it with my feet planted firmly on the ground, and know that by what I'm doing, it's allowing me to elevate my own state, but to change a life, one person, one day at a time.
So I'll tell you, and it's just so crazy, the last 5 interviews are bringing something, and all the moms who are listening to this now, what came, because I'm stepping up. Every mom is stepping up a clue. Just before, I had a mom who was a runner with Nike, and I announced 10,000 kilometers by 100 moms back, and then donated to probably Renu, and two more Renu, this mother project, and two more projects which I know moms here are supporting. Francis is supporting a Down syndrome association or something, and Elizabeth is supporting animal welfare. So with our run, we will complete, because health is very important for mothers. We're going to promote walking or running, whatever, 3.5 kilometers a day for 30 days. Moms are going to do 10,000 kilometers. That's going to be just starting very soon. I'll organize that. But when you were speaking, yet another message knocks into my head. So I always say it, because I have this space has become very sacred, and that is that your reason for being here is that all of us need to do this in our country to the veterans, and through you, it's not going to be veterans only in your country, but all of us will join hand and do something with veterans in our country, and many people who are right now in difficult situations doing. We have moms from Saudi Arabia, we have moms from Pakistan, we have here moms from Japan, we have moms from India, Australia, and veterans are everywhere. So all of us are going to pledge something with you, leading it for veterans across the world, LJ. I don't know when and how, but this message came, and I always put this space as a very sacred space. Whenever I've said something live out here, it's always happened. This will happen too. We all will support veterans in our way with whatever possible across the world. We're not going to just say veterans from this or that, because all of them have the same life, and you are here for that. You're here for that. That's why you were brought to this book, and that's what's not. When you just said it, it just knocked in my head. Like, say it, girl. That's the message came, and we will do that. We will run for moms with Ludmil leading it, with Renu for homeless mothers. We will support Renu, because I believe in her mission of supporting homeless moms. And now LJ steps in to help the veterans. And I always say, when moms step into any power, they can do anything. It's the moms who are going to save the society because of the heart that they have and what's given to them when they have children. And we are 100 of us together. We've managed to be 100 of us together. If we are of no use, the resources we've used, the paper we're going to use. I also announced, by the way, while talking to Debbie, that, sorry, I'm using paper for this book, but we're going to plant trees. All the 100 moms will also plant trees, and add the trees in return to the paper we're going to take from nature. I know it's sounding crazy, Shikha, one thing at a time, but all of you are here for a reason. And if it knocks into my head, I want to put it out, because if I don't, it will not happen. It has to get out from me. I am being used as a channel of messenger. If somebody understands that, I never used to believe in it, but there's a channel and there's a message coming through me. We are going to save the veterans of all the countries. We will do our best. We have an Air Force officer from my country here. We might have officers from other countries. We'll take their help and reach out. So that will come as well in till the time the book doesn't. I don't know where. It makes me feel I'm emotional that by the time the book is out, a lot of dreams will already would have been met, and this book will just come out as a byproduct. I think it will not become the main thing. It will become a byproduct, and I will call all of you in India and hug you guys and get you to India to celebrate all the stuff we would do by the time this book gets out. Um,
I feel that you just said it, that the book is the byproduct of the energy of all these women, all these beautiful, heart-centered, full-on women. I feel it. I feel the energy. And I got very, very emotional when you talked about the veterans. It drives me. They deserve it, especially in this time that we're in, these unprecedented times, for people to come together and to unite like this project of yours. You have no idea what this has done for me. It's shining its light. It's taking on a life of its own, but the power of it will last for years and years to come, my friend. It's a beautiful thing to spread awareness and to give back, because you will be rewarded with an even better life for all that you're doing for the moms and recognizing so many different missions. But your vision is very powerful. Never doubt that. And I'm just blown away. It takes a lot to rattle me, but this is rattling me in such a good way. It stirs me. I have to share this with you really quickly. My partner at the VFW post, Jerry, he's just an awesome guy. I think he's a decorated veteran, beautiful work that he does. And he invited me to a military funeral at Arlington the other day of a man who has done remarkable things in his own life. And I had the distinct privilege of attending a military funeral, 21 gun salute. I followed, all the people that were there. I was so emotional and so moved by this experience. It was impressive, but it was so inspired, because it made me realize I get caught in my throat here at the realization that I need to do more and more and more. And my journey will continue, but it starts with a vision, a mission, a purpose, and passion. And I never waver from it. I'm called to serve those who have served. But no matter what our mission, we are moms and we stand united. And I am inspired by you and the women you talk about. We climb those peaks, Shika. We climb those beautiful peaks. And I conquer one at a time. But I will never reach the top, because my journey will forever continue as long as I walk this earth. And that's the gift of who we are, who I am. And that's it.
So I must add to what it is before we wrap this up. It's not my vision, it's our vision together. I've always said it, it's us together. I'm nothing if any of you steps out. Any of you stepping out only breaks my heart, because it's was a chosen thing for all of you to be in these pages. So it's not me. It's just I was chosen to with my crazy spontaneity and stuff to be doing it, because the universe knew that she'll just keep blabbering it out. She talks too much. She'll just blabber it out, and then she'll have to do it. So it's us together. Each one of us are saving a lot of people, and we will do it. And it's uniting. And have been saying the mother pulse. When she knows she needs help, she gets this kind of stuff happening, and the mother pulse is the only solution for this world to come together. And veterans of any country, young boys of any country, boys in the army, should not commit suicide because they feel left out, they feel inadequate. We will support them. It must be happening in every country. And imagine a mother holding her child next to her, says, I'm coming for you. That's what it is. That's what this mission is for the veterans. And that's why you are here. So you're not here. Don't say it's your vision. Now it's our vision to get these veterans across the world. Use the word our. Tap into all the women here. Reach out. Ask for help. And we all will do it together. I'm with you. And these missions of Run for the Mom, homeless mothers, now the veterans, and many things will get added by the time we end this and start a new journey. So anybody who's seen 14 Peaks, I've been promoting that movie, 14 Peaks, please go watch it. My first peak is done. I have probably 13 more peaks to do. And if he can do it in 6 months and break the record of 16 years, I will do it in the next 7 months and meet you guys. I will keep saying it. I will meet you guys this year, give you the hug, because I feel it every morning. I feel it. I'm getting out of the car and I'm meeting you guys, and each of you, what are you going to say to me? What exactly is going to happen? Like, I can just see it. I am decided a place. I was talking to my husband. I was like, oh, what about this place? So we've decided a place where 4 days, these moms are going to showcase their work. We'll have the media, we'll have all the attention, we'll get the money to get you all here. I'm done with meeting you on the screen. I need to feel all of you. I need to give you all a hug for all the support and making this happen. So welcome to the book, LJ. It's a great edition yet again for the veterans. And the mom comes to save the veterans now. And
Woo!
we are going
Yeah.
to do it.
I'm so excited, Shika. I'm thankful for you and you granting me this space, your incredible photographic journey for women.
We'll do it together. We'll do it together. Let's do
Yeah.
it. We shall go off live. Yamile, Debbie, Jamile. She's so cute. It's the way she says, I'm Jamile. She does that very sweetly. Sarah, and Debbie, and everybody in the comments who have just gone past by. I can't see. Sonika was there. Yet another mom who secretly watches. I keep telling her, say hi to us, because she cooks and she watches all our interviews. I'm like, come on, join in and say hello to us when you watch it. So Sonika, and she was recommending a brilliant mom as well, a para-Olympian. We couldn't get her in, but we'll get her in somehow, somewhere. And we'll do this together. Bye and good night. My children's duties start. I have to go give dinner to them, and then I have 3 more moms coming up, and then
Yeah.
I turn 40, and on 3rd of February I start my day with the 100th mom. Wait for that. Everybody should be there to join in comments to celebrate the 100 moms. See you guys. Love you guys. See you all. You don't go
Thank
off. You don't go off. I'm just stopping the live.